welcome to my channel. I'm Anna. I run an Etsy shop where I sell stationery, including stickers aimed at planners and journals and various other art related items. If you're a stationery addict like me, don't forget to subscribe and welcome to my channel. Hello everybody and welcome to my office, craft room, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this is my first video back on my YouTube channel. I did have quite a few videos on here originally, but I've since rebranded and things have changed, especially in the office with me and everything, so I just wanted to scrap the whole thing and start again, which is what we're doing. So yeah, to begin with, this is actually a building in my garden. This isn't part of my house. When I moved here, this was already here. I think the guy previously used to use it for fishing gear. The plan was actually to knock this down because it takes up quite a lot of space in the garden and it's quite ugly from the outside. But I'm glad I didn't because it makes the perfect office. It has heating, electricity, lighting, and I like the fact that it's separate from the house and it just keeps life, work a bit more separate. The only issue is that it does get really cold in here in the winter. I do have some problems with leaks if the rain's quite bad, but it's nothing that I can't manage, and if it does get too cold in here, I tend to just bring what equipment I need into the house and just work while it's that cold. I did that over Christmas last year and the Christmas before, and it works fine. So yeah, to begin with, this is the little entrance. I'll spin around so you can see the door. I think the guy actually built this himself. I'm assuming it's all proper. I don't know, but it functions and that's all I really care about at the moment. But yeah, I just have some posters on the wall. This is a paper train that my dad made with my son. He won't let me throw it away, so we're just storing it in here. This is a poster and actually a puzzle that I used to have in my bedroom as a kid. My mum was going to throw them out. She's had them in her loft for years, but I wouldn't let her, so they've gone up in here. They take up a nice chunk of wall space. Over here I have just a chest of drawers that I used to have in my bedroom. Repurposed it as a crafty storage unit. In here I don't actually have any work stuff, maybe some paper in there, but this is mainly all my crafty hobby equipment that I've collected over the years, scrapbooking stuff, sewing, that sort of thing, and I just store that in here for if I ever actually have time to use it. Yeah, up here I have my gardening stuff, potting stuff, and then up here just some books. Like I said, yeah, I do have some problems with leaking and damp in here because it is an outbuilding, so I have these little like moisture absorbers dotted around. That one is very full. Up here I have my old printer. This is an Epson XP540. This is a really good printer. I don't know if they still sell it, but if you're just starting out, it's a good printer. I think it only cost me £150. It's brilliant. Yeah, just don't need it anymore, it's too small. This is my old computer chair. It doesn't actually live here. It's not always been there. My mum and dad got me a new chair for my birthday back in January, and yeah, I just don't know what to do with this because I'm reluctant to part with it. I've had it since I was 20, maybe even 19. I can't remember. I think my mum and dad bought it for me for university. So yeah, I would have been roughly 19. And I'm now 33, so I don't really want to part with it. Yeah, down here I just have a little rug. Mostly the cat just sleeps on that. And then over here I just have an old unit that someone gave me. Again, this doesn't actually have any work stuff in it. This is just crafting stuff for the kids, for me. Stuff that needs storing, but I don't have room for it in the house. And then over here I have another old printer. This one is almost identical to the XP540 actually. I saw no difference in quality. The only difference between the two is that this can print in A3 and I think it has an extra colour in it. I could be wrong. And obviously we have Johnny Depp. He has to be here. Yeah, over here, this is my new printer. I got this last year, I think, last January, and this has been brilliant. This hasn't only halved my ink costs. It's easily less than half. I wouldn't even be able to work it out. But yeah, if you've ever seen, or obviously I imagine you've seen, a normal ink cartridge that goes in these things, they normally hold about 5 or 8 mil, I think. This takes bottles, and the cartridges that go in that cost £10 to £15, sometimes more if you buy the extra large ones. But they cost the same as the bottles that go in here, and the bottles cost hold 70 mil. So yeah, it's a huge difference. £15 for 8 mil that go in there, £15 for 70 mil go in here. It's a massive difference, huge difference, but no difference in quality between the two if you can't afford this. Right down here I have my little packing station. I have some board-backed envelopes, Jiffies, cellophane, A3 envelopes, and then over here I have some boxes that I make up if anything doesn't fit in either of those. Up here I have a little unit from IKEA for storing paper that I'm obviously going to put in the printer. It's handy to have it nice and close. Up here I just have a little box with bits and bobs. Some WD-40 for my guillotine when it gets stuck, and my heat gun in there for embossing. And then I just have a little letter rack, some artwork on the walls just to make it feel a bit more homely. And then I have quite a few of these little pen pots dotted around. I like having them to store things off the desk. Because obviously if you have a lot of pen pots on the desk it takes up a lot of space, but if you have these then you've got loads of room. And I tend to organise orders over here on this section, and normally split orders between things like stickers and then things that aren't stickers, so maps, prints, notebooks and things. And then over here I have another one of these units for organising what work I'm doing at the moment. And then I have all my ink over here. Pretty sure it is 70 mil. Yes, it is 70 mil. And the great thing about these is that you buy one and you have some left over. So if your this colour is completely empty in the printer and I chuck this bottle in, I will still have a quarter left. So it's not even like a, once you buy it, it's a one go sort of thing. You get multiple uses out of it. I promise, like, Epson haven't told me to say any of this. But feel free to sponsor me at some point, that would be brilliant. Yeah, up here I just have some more storage, little bits and bobs from when I used to sell wedding stationery up there. I have a couple of these like weird little cage things. I think they're designed to go under desks or over shelves like I've done, but I obviously don't have the right shelf for it, so I put holes in it and yeah, it still works the same. But in here I have my old Happy Planner. I just keep that around so I can measure it for sticker sizes, because that's the planner that I generally use. Down here I have this little handy shelf thing from IKEA. This is quite good. I thought originally it was going to be too small because it's very shallow. I don't know if you can tell how shallow it is. So I didn't think you'd be able to fit a lot in it. But it's so good because it doesn't take a lot of room on the desk because it's so shallow, but you can still get quite a lot on it. I mean, you can still fit A5 size things on. Yeah, it's great. And obviously, got my Harry Potter family over here. I had to find somewhere to put them. More artwork, some cork boards. In the corner, I have an old monochrome laserjet printer that I just use for postage. I don't use it for anything else. Over here I have my computer. I was eating my lunch. I was about to start editing the first version of this video I made. But yeah, something went very wrong with that one, so I'm redoing it before I finish my lunch. Yeah, I have a TV on the wall there. I don't really use that for work stuff. That's just to have something on in the background, a YouTube video, podcast, book, music, whatever. It's handy to just have a second screen if I need it. And then over here is where most of the work gets done. I have my Cricut Maker, obviously my iPad for drawing, and then I have this cool little light that my gran bought me this year. I've wanted that for ages, and she went to IKEA and grabbed one for me. This was my first Cricut. This is the Cricut Explore Air 2. It's a great machine. It's touch wood. Never failed me, so I hope it continues to do so. Up here I have this really nice handy like big window, so this area here is normally where I do all my photography because the lighting is so good, and make my Instagram videos there. I normally have my cinch set up there as well. It's by We Are Memory Keepers. It's basically a binding machine, and that's what I use to make my notepads, but it's in the house at the moment. Yeah, I have my laminator behind there for making bookmarks and things. I really need to get a new calendar. Just have some, I normally hang my Cricut mats up here, and I have some other cutting mats. Some bits and bobs and games up here. I think that box is full of electrical cables. And then obviously here is where I sit at my, well, now quite old computer. I have Groot holding onto my pens, another light that my gran bought me. She bought me a lava lamp like the one that I had as a kid in my room. I have my Disney shop Ariel mug that my mum bought me years ago. It's a good mug. I love a chunky mug. And chunky men, to be fair, but I don't have one of those. Anyway, moving on. Under the desks I have these little units. I'm pretty sure everyone has these. All the craft tour videos I've seen have these. I can't remember what they're called. I think they're Helmer units, but they could have been renamed since, because they're so popular now. I've found that the prices go up once things get popular. This is like my accounts box. This is actually an old ink drawer. So yeah, that's how much ink I was going through. This isn't even all the ink. This was a regular occurrence. I used to give them all to my sister to recycle when she used to work at her office job. Pretty sure these are small. How much do they hold? Doesn't say. I'm pretty sure it's around 8mm, but yeah, I could be wrong, but it's definitely not 70, that's for sure. We used to go through these like no tomorrow. Yep, just have random stuff, some prints. In this side, this one's kind of more stuff for me. Yeah, you didn't see those sweets. I have my giant ruler. Under here I have my laptop bag, and my fan for when it's really hot in here. And then I have my heater, because this is just one of those rooms where it's either really, really cold or in summer, really, really hot. Other side, I have 2 more units. I keep all my paper in here, and then in here I keep stickers. Stickers in there. Match stuff. And then that is a book press. I don't actually make glued notepads anymore, but I was trying to using this, but now I just use it to stick paper in. If I need it to be extremely flat, I will put it in there and leave it overnight. I think that is it. I can't think of anything else to show you. I mean, it is a big space, it's a good space, but it's not enormous enough for me to have like an hour-long tour of it, if that makes sense. And I imagine that would be quite boring. But I hope you've enjoyed this little look into my space. I don't know how to explain it, but this room has made such a difference for me personally. If you move out, don't you, and then you have a family, and you don't have that space that you used to have as a kid or a teenager, where it's just your bedroom is entirely yours, no one else comes in, and you can make it your own. You have a bedroom normally that you have to share with your spouse, and then you have your house that you share with your children and your family. So yeah, having a space that's just mine has made such a huge difference. I love it. Yeah. I just want to add a quick note though. If you are watching this and you are just starting out, or you're even just thinking about starting to make stickers or do anything art related, you don't need space this big, you don't need half this stuff. This is 10 plus years of stuff that I've collected from just crafting personally and designing, and yeah, you don't need it. When I first started, the box room that I used to work in was tiny. I could only fit 3 desks in it, and then I had a tiny hole in the middle for my chair, and all I had was a Cricut, a printer and a laptop, and that was all I needed, and that was it. I didn't even have my iPad when I first started. My first 4 sticker kits, I think, are all watercolour that I scanned in. So you can do it with the bare minimum when you first start. I was just lucky enough to have this building. If I didn't have this, I'd probably still be working at the kitchen table. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little look into my office. If there's anything else that you want to know or see, or if you want to know anything more about the equipment that I use, just leave a comment, and yeah, I will address it in the next video. I'm thinking the next video I'll go through the whole process from start to finish. I'll maybe design a small sticker, and then we'll go through turning that into a sheet and then printing it and cutting it, and maybe how to list it on Etsy. I don't know if any of you would be interested in that. Maybe that would be a separate video for those of you who wanted to know that. But yeah, I thought that would be the next video, and then I also have a lot of speed drawing videos and time lapses that I can upload, because last year I figured out that Procreate automatically records you drawing. Like, how did no one tell me this? Anyway, it's good to know. So now I have lots of content I can upload for you all. And the Instagram poll that I did the other week, where I asked you all if you wanted to listen to me waffle while watching the speed drawings, or if you'd rather have music, I think most of you voted for waffling and only one person voted for music. So I will apologise in advance. If you just wanted music, feel free to mute my waffling when you watch the time lapses. Anyway, I hope you all have a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!